If you love watching rude interviewers get a taste of their own medicine, stick around because we're back with more of these moments and you're in for a treat. From quick comebacks to powerful reality checks, these celebrities didn't hold back. You definitely want to stick around to the very end because you won't believe what Joan Rivers said on live television. But before I go on with the video, make sure to hit the notification bell for more discussions like this.
Critics will say that you are basically a product of marketing.
Okay.
That when it comes down to it, it's all the YouTube hype, it's all the attention you get online.
Okay.
Do you see yourself as a product of marketing hype?
I think that everything happened organically. It wasn't something that the record label was pushing. It was basically happened because my fans liked me. And I think that coming from Stratford, Ontario, and just like, it basically gave others like hope because I come from basically somewhere that nothing really comes from there, like nothing, like nobody's ever came out of Stratford, Ontario and been famous or...
This was back in 2009 when most of the platforms that we are using today were taking their first baby steps and everyone was underestimating how they'd have a massive impact on our lives. This reporter seems to be one of them because she was focused on framing Bieber's success as part of a bigger marketing machine rather than acknowledging his genuine talent or the organic connection he had with fans long before being signed to a label. She was trying to diminish his rise to fame, but anyone who followed Bieber's career early knows it wasn't some prepackaged formula that made him a star. It was him being on YouTube and his ability to connect with millions through his music and personality. Yes, marketing helped amplify his reach, but at the core it was his singing and character that made millions of fans fall in love with him. I still remember how people in my school would try to have the same haircut as him. Don't judge me. And of course there were girls losing it after every new song he released, but the reporter wasn't satisfied with the answer and wanted to prove her point, which led to one of the most iconic Bieber moments ever.
Lloyd Robertson has come out of Stratford, Ontario and been famous. He anchors the national news on CTV.
I'm just saying there hasn't been somebody to come out and be known worldwide.
Okay.
Do you agree on that point?
Well, you know, it's hard to say because
I think Lloyd Robertson is known in a little town in Germany?
Probably not, because he anchors the national news in Canada. So you're saying you've got international appeal. That's the point you're making?
He was 15 years old here, and this answer alone proves why he got famous in the first place. You could say this was around the time when traditional media was starting to lose its grip, but no one really noticed yet. That's why this interviewer was grasping at straws comparing Bieber to a news anchor that most of you haven't even heard about until a minute ago. It's almost like she was trying to diminish his success, but let's be real, Bieber's fame was undeniable and no odd comparison was going to change that. Next we have Jonah Hill, who went on a French TV show to promote his new movie, War Dogs, and a French weather girl said a really weird thing to him.
En fait, ce serait qu'on se retrouve tous les deux dans une chambre d'hôtel le soir. On discute, voilà, vous me faites rire, vous me faites beaucoup rire. Et là, d'un coup, vous ramenez vos potes DiCaprio et Brad Pitt et vous partez.
Je suis content d'être venu. Je suis vraiment pas venu pour rien, d'être ridiculisé par une journaliste locale, ça fait plaisir.
The interaction started off awkward and it was supposed to be a joke. Jonah was clearly taken by surprise here. His response shows how much he had felt insulted, but also sent a clear message he wasn't going to tolerate any disrespect, even under the guise of humor. Ornella later on issued an apology saying that, quote, "I really had the impression that I knew you. I thought I was just messing around with a friend, but the reality is that we are not friends," adding, quote, "The reality is that you have 2 Oscar nominations and I have 2 videos on YouTube. The situation left such a bad taste in Jonah's mouth that he decided to cancel all his remaining press events in France. It was a bold move, but understandable. His choice to step back sent a message about respect and boundaries, especially in an industry where public figures are often expected to brush off disrespect with a laugh or a smile. But nothing comes close to what Ellen DeGeneres did to Taylor Swift. Watch how her joke started next."
All right, let's talk about your #1 hit, We Are Never, Ever, 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 Ever Gonna Get Back Together. Who's that about? Here's what I'll do. You don't have to say. I'm going to show pictures. Here's a bell, and you ring it when.
Oh my God.
All right? We'll show pictures.
I don't know if I'm going to do this.
Yeah, you will.
This is the one thing that I have. It's like the one shred of dignity that I have is I know that.
What do you mean one shred of dignity? You're just filled with dignity.
But people go and make guesses about it, and the only thing that I have is like that one card.
Ring it on 3 different guys. We'll narrow it down. So ring it 3 different times. So then it's still out there. We still don't know. So let's show some pictures. All right. right.
We didn't date.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's ridiculous to show Zach. They never did date. Okay.
Taylor Swift being labeled a serial dater is basically a meme at this point, especially since the internet loves to joke about her songs supposedly being about one boyfriend after another. But to make that the main topic of a segment while she's sitting there on your talk show takes things to a whole new level, and not in a good way. When Ellen tried to play this game with Taylor on her show, it wasn't just awkward, it felt cheap and downright disrespectful. Sure, Taylor's music draws from her personal life, but she's much more than her relationships. Taylor's visible discomfort made the whole segment feel way out of line, and it didn't end there because Ellen decided to take it to the extreme.
I don't know what I'm...
You're supposed to ring...
But I don't want to. I don't want to.
All right, I'll ring...
Because they'll send me angry emails and I don't want to get them.
I'll hold it for you.
What are you doing to me? This is me.
Okay, all right.
While Ellen tries to put out a character of being positive and funny, there's never been a shortage of stories of her mean behavior behind the scenes. The time she decided to take it on screen, and it's hard to ignore the fact that Ellen wasn't letting up and might not have stopped if Taylor hadn't screamed here. It's too easy to joke about relationships or tease in good fun, but forcing someone to relive personal details for entertainment feels like crossing a line. When you're supposedly all about kindness, moments like that prove how much of a hypocrite you are. For the final clip I'm about to show you, we have the late Joan Rivers shutting down a rude interviewer in an epic way.
Did you ever run up to someone and say, hey, how did you get so rich? And the woman said, by riding on my mom's coattails, and you said, Melissa, this is my show.
I don't think so. And I think we're going to end the interview right now. Don't get so smart.
We'll apologize for Joan's language right there at the end. You're just trying to be funny with her, and I had no idea that she would do that. We apologize for that this morning. Right.
He was trying to make fun of Joan Rivers' daughter, Melissa Rivers, talking about how she got famous just because she was a celebrity's daughter. There's actually a term for that, and it's nepo baby, nepotism. It's no question that having a recognizable last name will land you many opportunities, but staying relevant in the entertainment industry requires showing up day in and day out and dedication. Yes, these kids have access to resources, connections, and opportunities that others don't, but those advantages don't guarantee lasting success. I mean, name both of Tom Hanks' sons. Take, for example, Maya Hawke, who was the daughter of Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke. She's come from a well-known background, but she has to constantly prove herself as more than her last name, especially because audiences and critics are usually tougher on them, expecting them to live up to or even exceed their parents' legacies. So while being born into fame definitely provides a head start, true stardom takes much more than just a recognizable last name. But what are your thoughts on this? Let's get the conversation rolling in the comments down below. Oh, and by the way, do not forget to share it with your friends so they can stay in the loop.